Good to time there. Hi lads. How are
We should do the thing.
Sorry, okay.
All right.
Hi guys, welcome back to our first episode of the Impact Podcast, and we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about?
All things relationships.
All things relationship.
Yeah. So all start from house party, as we said before.
Of course, everything starts from house party.
Of course, that's where it all goes down, innit?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, relax.
That's where we start.
Relax.
Right, so I remember, do you remember we were talking about, I think relationships was the first topic that stood out on house party. That's what made me want to keep coming onto the house party. Do you remember?
Yeah, probably one of the most interesting.
100%.
Yeah.
Like there were so many topics like soul ties and
all of that.
you know, how Christian relationships are different from non-Christian relationships.
Yeah, people are asking questions like, "How do I get girls?" and that. Certain
Why are you man looking at me? I didn't say nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You say so.
So, actually, first question, since you
I'm
mentioned
joking, chill.
do you think non-Christian relationships are any different to Christian relationships?
What do you think?
Depends how you put it.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I think so.
I
What
don't-
do you think?
I think so. Because I think as a non-Christian, I mean, you can do what you want to do. But I think as Christians, we need to set boundaries in our relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
There's-
stuff we live by, innit?
Exactly.
But
and
you
there's limits.
You could do the same if you're non-Christian.
You could.
You could,
but
yeah, 100.
if you're non-Christian, you're not called to set the boundaries. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because obviously the word says
Like they have
that
an option. I
Yeah.
don't think we have an option.
we are not of the world, innit? So that's what the word
Exactly.
says. So you basically just have to, you just basically have to live by what the word says, isn't it? So obviously, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess non-Christians don't have the pressure to have to stick by these rules, if that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
I said it depends how strong-minded you are.
Yeah, definitely. And your morals and your ethics as well.
Yeah.
innit? So
Okay, but let's say you're not. What do you do now?
That's on them then. Like, you can't change that.
the true say,
But you could be similar to a Christian.
But an issue, if you're Christian, would you ever go into a relationship or marry a non-Christian? Because if you deep it, as Christians, we have these boundaries, we have these rules that we live by, but a non-Christian might not either follow, believe, or actually follow. Yeah.
Okay. I think that say if you're, as a Christian, if you're open to dating a non-Christian, I think that if you now lay out and say, okay, this, and this is what is going to happen in this relationship, and this is what I'm not going to
100, yeah.
exceed, then, and if they are willing to sacrifice that, well, then I think that is okay.
It's all about communication, isn't it?
100%. 100%. And sacrificing things.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you
No.
laughing, Adrian?
It's just what you said.
Yeah, but
That's what I think.
yeah, but any of you personally, would you be open to it?
No, I wouldn't.
I don't.
Why is that?
I don't
Because
know.
that's just more effort on yourself. If you're someone who's Christian,
Okay, but let's
you could do
say.
it together.
Okay, but let's say you're the one is non-Christian, right? What are you gonna do? What do you mean more effort?
It's a tough question,
A relationship as a whole is an effort.
Yeah, trust. Yeah, trust. But
No experience.
Yeah. But for me, wait, what'd you say?
No experience.
Oh yeah, no experience. Yeah. But anyway, it's a thing where, for me personally, I prefer my future wife, to be a Christian, innit?
Okay,
Yeah.
but let's say you're dating though.
For dating, well, if we're dating for marriage, you know?
All right. Okay.
You're not dating for marriage, you're dating for heartbreak. You're
Yeah,
not dating
of
for
course.
marriage.
Well,
Yes, I would have the intention, dating a non-Christian, to not convert them, but
Let them see.
let
So,
them, give them an insight in Christianity.
you see the.
I'm not going to pressure them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, marriage is a big thing.
100%.
Kids is a big
100%.
thing.
I think I'm going to marry a Christian, 100%.
Yeah. So
Huh?
I thought he was asking a question. I
Did
can't
I
lie.
say anything?
No.
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 Oh my
Yeah,
god!
so-
I think I said something. Okay, do you think, like, so obviously your friends, people around you, do you think they rush into relationships?
I see a difference, yeah, between us and a lot of other people, in my opinion. Yeah.
I think some people can't live without being in a relationship.
100%.
It
I
gets
think
like
they
that.
idolize
It
their
gets like that.
partner.
100%.
They
like,
idolize their partner and they forget.
What?
I mean, okay, let's say as Christians, I'm not saying that they idolize their partner, but it's very easy to fall into that. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're spending so much time with one person and investing so much of your life in one person, you forget that
yeah.
you should be, God should come
It
first.
gets like that, yeah.
Mm.
And obviously, one thing I've always said it to my family members as well, is that if I am in a relationship, if I do get into a marriage, or when even, it's a thing where obviously Jesus, God, Christianity has to be the center of the relationship,
100%,
Of course.
if that makes sense, because obviously if...
And you need that structure. I
Exactly,
think you need that structure
foundation,
because anything other than that is failure,
Exactly,
I
yeah.
think. Or set up for failure.
Exactly, 100%.
Okay, as a Christian, let's be real, everything around us is
Everything.
sex, relationships,
Drugs,
just drugs,
alcohol.
all
Parties.
of
All of that party.
that. How do you guys deal with the pressure?
Do you know what it is? I'll be honest. Obviously, as a Christian,
Yeah.
we have to live a different way to other people, innit? Which is not always easy, and it's not always, yeah. I guess it's not
It's
always
just a constant battle between flesh and spirit.
100%, 100%. And it's a thing where I feel like because we're Christians, and obviously personally I'm proud to call myself a Christian, I have no problem telling people I'm a Christian. But sometimes there's a pressure because I'm a Christian, like I have to set an example and I have to be different. Obviously I have no problem with that, but obviously we're all human, we all sin. But it's a thing where...
And when you're constantly around it, it's tempting.
Exactly.
It's tempting.
It does get like that.
Tempting.
No way around it.
It really depends, because like me myself, I hang around with a lot of Christian friends anyway.
Yeah,
So the way they act is probably similar to me.
exactly.
100%. And I think what also helps is that if you surround yourself with Christians
Yeah.
and godly people, it will help you walk in your path.
Yeah, definitely. Because in case you guys didn't know, we actually all go to the same college.
Yes.
And yeah, we do chill with each other a lot. But also,
Yes, because everyone around us is very different.
yeah,
Very different.
For
we do
real.
have a lot of non-Christian friends.
Very
and
different. Yeah, we
yeah,
do.
it gets like that.
So I think we're here for each other to remind us. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, like let's say Kavisha, Aiden, or me was doing something that we shouldn't be doing. I guess it's a thing where we could go, look, listen.
What is that, Jermaine? I think if anything, that Jermaine is doing something that he
Listen,
shouldn't be
I'm
doing.
going home. Me.
Aiden, no, back it, please.
If I
because
speak,
Aiden knows what you.
if I speak,
Okay.
I think that if you're struggling and if you're struggling with temptation and all of that, I think you need to just refer back to the word.
100.
I find a
know?
group that's like similar to you.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Surround yourself with Christians. Go back to the word. Ask for help.
Yeah, sometimes it's important to have someone to remind you where you come from.
Yeah,
like
Jermaine.
Who,
Of course, Jermaine.
Aiden, go on.
Carry on, carry on, carry on. You're saying something.
Yeah. I thought you had something to say, but anyway. Okay, in terms of sex.
To be
and
honest, I don't
age,
think there's no pressure. People just force it.
100%.
You know what it is, obviously.
Because, like, since everyone's doing it, they think it's like something they need to do to fit in.
Peer pressure in a way.
Like, to fit in, to be part of that group.
You know what it is? I'm a virgin, and I'm proud to say I'm a virgin. I have no issue saying that with other people. But it's a thing where I kind of think it's overrated, but at the same time it's underrated, because I'm about to explain why.
Go on.
Go on.
Confusing, but listen.
So
I
do you think it's overrated and underrated?
Okay, so
How-
I think
Underrated?
it's...
How do you think it's underrated?
Okay, I think it's
Underrated?
underrated. Not underrated, but it's a thing where it's more important than people think. Because obviously, with sex comes, it's not just
So tight.
it's not just the act in itself, but it's a gift from God, and
Yeah.
it's a covenant, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. It's something that should be kept
Till marriage.
exactly. Obviously, not a lot of people
understand that.
Yeah.
Or do it.
People have their opinions. I know you're looking at me like I've had sex.
I'm not saying anything.
We're
What?
not saying anything. Carry on.
But yeah, it's a thing where it is much more important than it is. But I feel like when I say it's overrated, I think it's a thing where people sort of feel like, oh, I can't get through this life without, without at least trying it or something or whatever. It's a thing where, oh, if I was to go out with this girl, it's a thing where I need to have sex with her for this relationship to actually be a thing or interesting. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, and they base their whole relationship around sex.
Exactly. Like, I feel like it's not about that.
It's not healthy.
No, not
Exactly.
at all.
And I feel
Because
like
it becomes like you're important to me because I'm having sex with you. Do
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
and it's a thing where if you are a Christian, it's a thing where you are going out with a non-Christian and you feel afraid to say, oh, I'm not ready for sex yet, I'm waiting till marriage. I'll just say this up front, if she's a good girl, then she'll understand.
I think it's fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Like, because I think nowadays, especially nowadays, that if you had now come into a relationship or entered a relationship and you've said, yeah, no, sorry, I'm not having sex.
Some
They're
people
gonna-
just go.
They just
Yeah.
go.
But
And I think it shows you, it's good. It just shows
Yeah.
you that they're not there for the commitment.
And what I've always said is if there's someone that you like or there's someone you're going out with and you feel that you can't tell them that you want to wait till marriage or something, then I feel
Clearly
like there's
not the
something
one.
wrong. I feel like if the girl is good, then she'll understand what you're saying. And
100%.
I guess she'll commit. Because at the end of the day, a relationship isn't about sex. Like, it's not based around it. And obviously there's certain acts.
It's just a
there's-
bonus.
Exactly. I guess it is, yeah. 100.
It is.
Yeah.
There is so much more to relationships than sex.
100%.
I am not
Soul
the one
ties.
to talk about soul ties. I don't
Soul
get it.
ties.
I do get it, but it's just like,
It's a complicated.
yeah, it's a complicated topic.
Yeah, we spoke about it on House Party, yeah.
Yeah, I think that not scared me, but that made me become more cautious of
Yeah.
like
Makes you think.
sex. It makes you realize how deep it is.
And do you know what it is? Sometimes it's a thing where people need to get scared before they realize what they're doing
course.
is about. Do you get what I'm saying?
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, yeah. So soul ties. Do you
Soul
guys know what that
ties.
is? You guys definitely know what that is. 'cause we spoke
I know
It's
it's
when your souls intertwine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So simply, obviously, as I said before, sex is more of a sacred act. So once someone has sex with someone else, your soul, as Kavisha said.
Have you
in
guys ever
someone's-
like seen like non-Christians have sex
Yeah.
and then they literally just can't
Yeah.
stay away from that person after they've broken up?
I was speaking to someone about it one time. She was, in fact, she's not a Christian, she's a Muslim.
Really?
And, yeah, we were speaking about it on the way home. And she was saying she feels bad because she has a lot of problems, or she had a lot of problems at home. And she had a lot of mental illnesses as well, like a lot of problems and stuff like that. She said she felt kind of bad because when she had sex with this person, she understood that there were a lot of... Like, the person started to get dragged down, if you get what I'm saying. Like, she started to find things like difficult, started to have anxiety attacks, stuff like that. Found that things weren't going right for him.
It's that sense of attachment you have now
Exactly.
with that other person that you really can't get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to get rid of it, but at the same time, it's not a thing where you can just...
It's just easily.
Yeah. It's not a thing where you can just have sex and say, you know what, let me just pray, let me just get rid of this. It doesn't work like
Doesn't
that.
work like that.
I think through deep prayer and through... You have to actually have devotion and faith towards it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just to get rid of it. But I don't
But
think
just
it's
that
as easy.
idea of like now you have come together with someone through having sex. Now that you have that specific attachment to that person, just generally that is quite
Yeah.
scary.
And that's why it is made for marriage.
100%, and how that can affect you. So it's a gift from God
Yeah.
that should be kept until marriage.
Yeah.
End of.
Yeah.
Nah, but you do see people like your friends that are going around everyone in it,
100%.
and you see them end up getting hurt by themselves.
100%.
You see it with your own eyes. You really do.
If you really, yeah, exactly.
If you
look,
really
it's
do,
right in
you
front
really,
of you.
It's right in
The evidence
front
is
of you.
there.
And it's like, okay, for example, girls, like they would cry and cry and cry, and they would do anything to get this boy. He's just making them. It's embarrassing.
And yeah, you know,
It's
that
actually
kind of
embarrassing.
reminds me of a point I wanted to make.
Go on.
Nowadays, I actually spoke to someone about this. Toxic
Everyone
relationships.
in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Big
Speak
time.
to everyone.
It's big time.
Huh? Yeah, I do.
Okay, right.
Bait head.
Toxic relationships now actually been normalized. Now in
It's
society.
idolized, not even normalized. It's just
It is so bad.
so bad.
So
you know,
bad.
people are like, yeah, I crave a toxic relationship. I want a
Yeah.
toxic
I find
relationship.
it weird. Like,
It's weird.
all over TikTok, it's crazy.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
man.
all
It's
over
so
social
weird.
media.
What is toxic relationship
Toxic.
for people who don't know what it is? I mean, it's quite obvious.
Yeah, toxic. If something's toxic, it's not good for you, is it? And and it's basically
Great definition. Great.
Well,
But it's like, okay, right. Toxic relationships that I've seen is like, they break up, they come back together, they break up, they come back together, but through sex. Do you get it?
And
I
they're,
think
like,
it can
hurting
happen
each
like
other
that.
in some way.
Some way, just hurting each other some way.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I feel like it's like this generation is different from how it used to be. And how my parents describe, like, I look at my mum and dad, I see, yeah, it's a good marriage and everything like that.
Then you look at our
Obviously,
age.
Yeah.
It's different.
You know what it is in our generation, people are craving toxic relationships, cheating, or for someone to not be, for someone to be loyal,
Oh
or for
my-
someone to
yes.
not cheat is for some reason, it's
It's weird. It's weird
Yeah,
not
exactly.
to cheat.
exactly.
Apparently.
Let's talk about cheating. What do you think?
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Cheating, of course, it's not good. But have you ever have anyone like
I
people
can't
around you
speak from
cheated?
experience.
Can't
I've
speak
seen,
from
I
experience.
look at
Have
people.
you seen? Of course, you've
Yeah,
not
I've-
cheated.
I look at people, I've seen, like, you know them ones where, like, let's say you're out, and then let's say your boy has a girl, or your
And
one
you've
of
now
your
seen the
friends.
girl somewhere
Yeah.
where she shouldn't be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Drop your comments, drop your, what's it?
Drop your comments if you've been cheated on.
Wow. I don't think you should do that.
Please don't put that in.
Yeah. We'll pray for you,
We'll pray for you.
Or put your dilemmas or something. That,
Yeah, no,
So,
one time we
We should do that.
We should
Solving
do that.
your dilemmas. We're doing
Yeah,
that one.
we'll solve your dilemmas.
I'm a mastermind.
No, you're
I feel like people, especially in this generation, they have a void in them. Okay, let's say non-Christians, and I think that void is not having God.
yeah.
But they
Yeah,
replace
yeah.
it. They replace it with someone else.
Sex, drugs, whether that be alcohol, anything
exactly.
like that, partying. And stuff
But
like
really and truly, that void within them is coming to Christ.
that. And that is a reason why, for relationships and stuff, I always say Jesus needs to be in the center, because Jesus is in the center of the relationship.
Center.
Toxic relationships, is infidelity the word? Yeah. Stuff like that. It's just not, I don't think it's an option like that. Do you
It's
know what
not.
I'm saying?
It's not. Okay, as a Christian, what's your ideal relationship?
So obviously God's in center.
Yeah.
100.
Like your other partner is a Christian as well.
Like, do you
100.
think like we should pray together? Like, you two should
100%.
pray
I've
together.
always said this.
Bible study together.
I've always said this. When I grow up and I have my kids, I want my kids to come to church with me. Like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I want my house to be a house of prayer, house of. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like that's for me personally. Marrying a non-Christian would make that difficult. Like,
Yeah.
let's say,
So basically what your parents have, innit?
yeah,
Yeah.
or like marrying someone who say is a different religion to me. Like let's say I marry a Muslim girl. It's a thing where what if I'm going to church or I'm getting ready to go to church and I want my kids to get ready, say, oh no, Dad, I want to go to mosque with Mummy
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
That wouldn't sit right with me. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
100%.
It'll bother
And
you,
of
innit?
course,
Exactly.
okay, let's say another person, they're entitled to what religion they want to be. As much as you try preach the gospel and like tell them things about Christianity, it's that is their decision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now let's say you get into a family and like you said that your wife is Muslim and now you are Christian. I feel like that affects children
Yeah, definitely.
because
Because they're confused now, innit?
they're confused. And I feel like as parents, you were there, you were called to guide your children into what
Yeah.
you think is right in life. And I feel like if if my mum is now Muslim and my dad is Christian, what do I do? Do you know what I mean?
Like which God is real, which is fake.
I'd feel torn.
Yeah. And then sometimes I think that can lead to you deciding, no, what, maybe religion
It's not for me.
isn't for
Exactly.
me.
And then
Or
you end
maybe-
up being atheist.
Yeah, or maybe you end up going the rest of your life searching for what is right and what is
And
wrong.
that is what creates a void.
Yeah, and what's right in front of you is what you should actually be
It's just a
focused on.
constant effect.
Exactly, yeah. It gets like that, but
Mm.
obviously
Yeah.
there are still relationships where you've got Christians and Muslims that actually
Of
do
course,
have a happy
yes.
family and stuff like that.
Yes.
And yeah, I applaud it because
However they do it.
If you're struggling, all you have to do is just come back to the Word of God. It's there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not
no.
going anywhere.
relationship problems, stuff like that.
The easiest thing you
Anything
can do
and
is just talk to God.
everything.
Exactly.
Anything
saw
and
it.
everything.
I said the easiest thing you can do is just talk to God.
Yeah, I saw your story. It said if you have a problem or something, God is just a prayer away or something like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But again, how is that going to be easy if the relationships isn't centered around Christ, if that makes sense? But for me, I grew up in the church. Obviously, I've always gone to church, mum and dad. But I think it was, remember the 8th of April, I think 2-3 years ago, that I actually got baptized for myself. And yeah, it was a special moment, I guess.
That was the same day my brother got baptized as well.
Yeah,
innit?
I
Yeah.
remember we did together. Yeah, I guess the fact that I've now been baptized and I made that decision for myself is like, obviously I'm coming to church because I want to come to church. Like it's a thing where I'm
Yeah.
not coming because mum said, "Oh, let's go to church."
So, what do you guys think about just being single?
No issue with that.
No issue.
Personally.
No problems, nothing.
No girlfriend.
I
no
think
problem.
also,
Yeah, so-
You're living lavish, isn't it?
I think it's so important also to create that relationship with God and
Find yourself.
find yourself and be fulfilled within yourself before you
100.
step.
Again, it's
into a
easier. It's
relationship.
easier because you know what
Easier.
you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always say to people, how can you love someone else if you can't love yourself?
For
If that makes sense.
Dude, does.
So,
It's true.
Yeah.
Because how can you? Because if you're not fulfilled within yourself and if you're not okay by yourself, how is now adding another person into that equation going to help?
To me, that's more stressful.
Yeah,
Can't lie.
more stressful.
Exactly.
to
You get
both
more
you-
problems.
Stress, more
Exactly.
stress.
More stressful towards you and your partner.
Mm.
Because not only do you have problems that you're facing, but
Yeah.
obviously now your partner's involved, and now it's hard for them to, if that makes sense. But
100%.
yeah. Do you feel pressured to be in a relationship?
Nah, not really. Because let's say I'm still trying to find out what I want to do and like what I want for my life. I
Yeah.
can't jump into something not knowing for myself.
Exactly. And yeah, like, I don't feel pressured at all, I'll be honest. Excuse me. But, yeah. Obviously, I'm just focused on myself, and yeah, if the right girl comes, innit?
Mm.
She'll come at some point. And yeah, right now I'm focused on myself, music, all of that.
Okay, I'm not saying that you don't get pressured, but I'm just saying, you know when you see on Instagram, Snapchat, those
yeah.
cute couple goals, those cute relationship posts, don't you just sit there sometimes and be like, it would actually be nice to have a girlfriend?
It would be nice, I'll be honest, it would. But obviously, there's no rush, innit?
Yeah, there's no
All
rush
in
at all.
God's time, I guess.
I know you'd be sitting on your phone, yeah, looking at them, be like, damn.
Ice cream, sitting in the dark.
What is it different for you compared to me and Jermaine?
Is it different for a girl? That's a good question. I don't think so. I don't feel pressured. As long as you're strong-minded and when you're surrounded by so much like, and you see lots of young people rush into relationships and you see the consequences, it just like,
Yeah,
why
like,
would
chill.
relax,
Yeah.
you know? Like, why would, I don't
find pressure because I've seen people get hurt.
That's what I'm saying. That's
I ain't
what
trying
I'm
to get
saying.
hurt.
Like,
Like,
I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm minding my own business.
Like,
I'm
I'm
doing
living
my
life,
own
man.
thing.
Living my
You
life,
know?
making
And
money.
it's like when you see like young people rush into relationships and idolize relationships so much and think, you know, there's some people that are like, oh, I can't live. I need a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, I'm thinking, okay.
I feel like at this age, it's not a must.
It's
I
not
don't
a
think
must.
at
It's
any
not a
age it's a must. I think it's like you just leave it to God.
Yeah, 100. All in God's time, I
nah,
guess.
but people force it. People force it
People
so
force
much.
it so much.
It's crazy.
So much. And it's just
You
like,
can see from the quotes and stories, everything.
100.
exactly.
100.
Exactly.
University.
Okay, right.
Different story. Go on.
Nah, when you go to
Okay,
university, you're gonna have a
I
lot of
think
parties.
uni is a whole different episode.
100.
a lot
Do you
of
know what I
parties.
mean? There's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want us to do an episode on that,
On
then
universities,
yeah.
let us know.
definitely let us know. So,
Okay.
advice should give your younger self, I guess.
My younger self, I
Yeah.
think that...
Or
Oh.
future children.
all
Huh?
your- yeah.
Was
all
that?
Your, all your future children, apparently.
Oh, my future children. Oh, yeah, that's a good question, actually. Yeah, Aiden, you want to answer that first?
I'll tell my younger self to read the Bible more.
I hear that. I hear
Me
that.
too. I think I need to be more invested in the word and, you know, just really apply that in my life.
I think-
Because I think there's that reading it, but then actually using that in your life
Therefore,
is very
100.
important.
I think I'd tell my future son, just
Your
to-
future son, how do you know you're going to have a son?
by God's grace. I'll be like, you just need to chill. Just need to let God do His thing. Just try and live by His will.
Because God is never leaving. God is
Yeah.
always there and He will protect you and He will guide you.
100. Yeah.
Yep.
He will show you the way.
Of course.
As long as you have faith and as long as you just have faith.
Try and live by His will, I guess. I guess temptation-wise, I guess obviously in the Word it says He will never put you through temptation or any situation that you can't handle, innit? So I guess it's just having the willpower and the determination to pull through.
It also says that He will never fail you, so you don't have to worry about that much.
100,
Just
yeah.
worry about yourself.
I think it's just trying to ask God try and find out or pray about it, like what's His will for your life, like whether like that be music or whether that be sports or
I've got a
whatever.
question. So you see how you guys are now saying like, okay, like we just need to wait on God and then I'm going to do what God calls me to do and I'm
Yeah.
just going to wait on the person for like God don't you think there's sometimes a certain point like you just get impatient
Yeah, defo. Like
Yeah.
and you're just like,
yeah.
okay, hello.
Yeah. But there's always always a plan
Yeah.
ahead of you anyway.
Okay, so what makes you think, okay, like I'm getting impatient now? What takes you back to remembering that, okay, it is God's plan and I have to wait?
You know what it is? Like, I guess it goes back to reading the Word and knowing
Yeah.
who God is, because He's always on time, never late, and I
He's
guess
always on time and never late.
yeah,
Bro, that's a
Love
nice one.
that.
yeah.
I'm gonna start using that.
He's always on time and never late.
Yeah, and just knowing that God, you just need to let Him do His thing, I guess. Just need to understand who He is, make sure you,
And he's great, you
Yeah.
know, and he's just
100.
above
yeah,
any situation that you're going through.
100%.
So as long as you have that, you'll
Yeah,
be
you're good.
fine.
Mm.
I think, okay, so let's say now non-Christians are watching. I think prayer is not, I think it's just talking to God.
I think people,
Anyone
yeah.
Can do it,
I
you
think
know?
people overthink it, you know.
People
'Cause
think
at
it's
the end-
formal. You could just
Yeah,
like speak
it's
to
a
him.
conversation. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of the time people think, for me to have a conversation with God, I need to do this,
I
this
need
and
to
that.
implement this, this,
Yeah.
and this, and there has to be a structure. No.
You have to say that, that, and
The way you
that.
talk to your father, I
Exactly.
guess.
The
you
way
talk
I'm
to your
talking
heavenly
to
father.
you and the way I'm talking to you is how you can talk to God and how you can build a relationship.
Because he understands you either way, so
Yeah.
it don't really matter.
I guess the way you talk to your father on earth, you talk to your heavenly father as well, I guess. Sort of, obviously, he's your friend, isn't it? God is your friend, and he's your helper, he's your guide and protector.
So what would you say to non-Christians who are beginning to read the word?
So,
Okay, for non-Christians, how would you
advice.
advise
Advice would you give?
to approach the word? How would you?
I would say read the Bible and whatever touches you in the Bible, pray on that.
100.
Or any
Yeah.
situation you're in, pray on that.
And I think it's so important as well to pray before you read the word and ask
Yeah.
God to help you and
wisdom.
guide you and ask him to say, ask him, Lord, what do you want me
Yeah.
to...
Pray for wisdom and understanding.
Is there
Yeah.
anything specific?
Especially in Proverbs, it says, if you ask for wisdom, he'll give it to you, right?
Exactly.
So
Mm.
it's just basically God's there. He wants you to reach out to him. But he's not gonna force
That's
you.
all he
obviously.
wants, I think.
Yeah.
That's all he wants.
He's
A
not gonna force you.
relationship.
So obviously, if you wanna have a relationship with him, then obviously you need to.
Just talk to him.
Yeah.
Just talk to him.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about accepting God as your personal Lord and Savior, please go to info@comchurch.org.uk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And email that email address there. Should be somewhere around
It's on the bottom right,
bottom right. So,
where you're sitting.
yeah.
So if you had to sum up relationships in one word, what would you say?
Relax.
That
Yeah,
is it. That's
defo.
good. Relax. That's it. That's a perfect one.
Just take time.
Relax, take time.
Don't force it.
Leave it to God. Even though this is not one word, leave it to God.
I guess, yeah.
100%.
So I'm not going to say one word because I don't have one word. But yeah, basically what Kavisha said, leave it to God, relax.
And what Aiden said, relax.
Yeah. And just sort of
Take your time.
work on yourself.
Work on yourself.
While you're single, you might as well just make the most of that time, innit? So,
It's been a lovely one word.
yeah.
It's been Aiden.
Kavisha.
It's been Jermaine, and thanks for watching. And please tune into the next episode.
God bless.
In a bit.
Yeah.
You know what, yeah? I think we should put our own Instagrams. Can't lie.
Huh?
Huh?
I think we should put our own Instagrams in it.
Huh? Oh, on Instagrams. She said she wants to put her own Instagram.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah?
I'm
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
joking.
God.
It is.
Kavisha's Instagram is.
Whoever's editing this, if you want to put my Instagram at the bottom,
I'll do
If
that.
you want to put my Instagram on the bottom.
Maybe.
watch him for his own and just.
Yeah. I guess it's not
It's
always
just a constant battle between flesh and spirit.
100%. It's a certain
Why are you man looking at me? I didn't say nothing.
But it's a thing where I kind of think it's overrated, but at the same time it's underrated because I'm about to explain why.
Go on.
Go on.
Confusing,
Go on.
but listen.
What are you going to do?
I
What do you
don't-
mean more effort?
It's a tough question,
A relationship as a whole is an effort.
Yeah, trust. Yeah, trust.
It's quite obvious.
Yeah, toxic. If something's toxic, it's not good for you, is it? And and it's basically
Great definition. Great.
me.
Aiden, no, back it please.
If I
because
speak,
Aiden knows what you.
if I speak,
Okay. Was he's always on time, never late, and yeah, I
He's
guess.
always on time and never late.
Yeah.
bro, that's a nice
Love
one.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using that.
He's always on time.